a piece of sky in her eyes. Her name was Aira. She was only 13 when she first learned the meaning of the word gone in its most silent and shattering form. Her father didn't come home that night, nor the next day, nor ever again. A traffic accident, said the adults, their voices trembling and eyes averting. But to Aira, it wasn't just tragic news. It was an echo of emptiness that words could never embrace. Her small world collapsed, yet it collapsed without a sound. Her father was the sky, where she hung her dreams, sought protection, and learned to trust the world. And now that sky was no more. The days that followed his passing became an endless season of gray. She still sat in her middle school seat, but no longer as a child. She learned to hide her tears, to answer, "I'm fine," in a flat tone, to understand that sometimes being strong means pretending you're not breaking. She preferred sitting by the window, staring at the same sky, hoping to catch a glimpse of her father's silhouette among the clouds. While her friends wrote poems for their first crushes, Aira wrote letters to someone who could no longer reply. Then she'd tear them up, for keeping them was too painful, and reading them even more so. Her mother, a strong woman, was quietly broken too. She tried to fill the void with extra love, but there are wounds no hug can reach. Aira needed more than affection. She needed a father. But how could someone still learning how to survive give everything? The years passed like nameless seasons. Aira grew up, yet within her, the wound remained small and unresolved. She fell in love with someone much older, seeking protection, warmth she had lost. But she never felt whole. That relationship made her realize she wasn't chasing love. She was chasing a ghost, a father she never got to say goodbye to. When that love ended, Aira sat in her room and opened a memory box. Inside were photographs, letters, and a piece of night sky they had painted together. She cried, not out of sorrow, but because she finally allowed herself to miss him, not with anger, but with the love that had never faded. That night and whispered softly. Aira sat with a cup of tea, her mother across the table. "You look tired. Want to talk about it?" her mother asked gently. Aira paused. "I dreamed of Dad. We were in a park, holding hands like when I was little. But when I tried to hug him, he disappeared." Her mother's eyes softened. "I dream of him too, but I was afraid to tell you." I thought you needed me to be strong. I pretended to be strong too, Mom, but I'm tired since you left. I feel like I've been searching for someone to make me feel safe again. I lost a husband, but you lost your sky. I knew that, and I was scared. If I broke, you'd break more. But it turns out we were both bleeding. Aira's tears fell soundlessly. I just want to know, Mom, when will I heal? Her mother held her, long and tight. Maybe we never truly heal, but we learn to make peace. Slowly, together. Weeks later, Aira sat in a therapy room. It smelled of lavender and silence. Today, talk to 13-year-old Aira, the psychologist said softly. Imagine she's sitting in front of you. Aira closed her eyes. Her voice cracked, yet it was calm. Hi, little Aira. I'm sorry we pretended for so long. You did nothing wrong. You were just a child who lost her world in a second. But look at you, you're still here. You grew. You survived. And I'm proud of you. How does it feel to say that? Asked the therapist. Like setting down a burden and letting it go. I can finally breathe. From now on, said the therapist, you'll build relationships not to fill a void, but because you know you deserve to be loved. Not because you're broken, but because you are you. And it was true. Love came again. But not in the form of a savior. Revan wasn't someone who tried to be the sky. He simply showed up in silence, in laughter, in stillness. He didn't try to erase her past, but stood beside it, accepting every fragment that shaped Aira. Aira fell in love, this time without fear. She no longer loved to fill an emptiness, but to celebrate who she had become. Someone who learned that loss isn't the end of everything, but the beginning of a deep understanding that we live with love not always whole, but still beautiful. That evening, they sat in the park. The sky blushed pink. I'm not afraid anymore, Aira whispered. Because now, I carry a piece of that sky within me. And within her, the sky finally found peace.